But I really don't think she would be in the position she's in without Marcus Anderson.
Fairy tales aren't proof, love. Without them, Meghan Markle wouldn't have reached such global fame or stirred so much attention. And grand romances never come with guest lists that feel like business rosters.
Joys now, or infamy, depends on how you look at it.
Princes aren't meant to lie awake questioning whether their fairy tale weddings were just business deals, yet here it was. Imagine Prince Harry, red-haired and royal, sitting in Montecito, phone in hand, fixated on a photo that won't leave his mind. It's not Meghan's smile or the stunning view, but a single detail. In the background of that glossy yacht shot sat a navy canvas bag with gold letters, Soho House. Those close say he kept zooming in, hands shaking. That bag wasn't just a label, it was a whole world Meghan knew long before he arrived.
Doubted that she would have the cachet to be at the opening night party.
What?
And this wasn't some ordinary yacht. No, it was the kind that glides through exclusive circles where Meghan Markle had flourished for years. At the core of it all was Marcus Anderson, her close friend, Soho House insider, and even a royal wedding guest. That photo wasn't just a memory of a trip. It was a window into a world Harry never realized he was walking into.
Reported on the opening night of the Toronto Soho House.
Fans didn't just whisper, they eventually shouted that Harry's love story might not have been fate, but strategy. The fairy tale he believed in suddenly felt scripted. He'd always thought it began with a simple blind date, but digging deeper told another story. He cross-checked old photos, charity rosters, and donor lists, and what surfaced shattered everything. It was like peeling palace wallpaper to find a stage underneath. The images didn't lie. Meghan was at Soho House, Istanbul in 2015, surrounded by faces Harry later saw at his own events. In 2014, she was in Barcelona, laughing beside men he'd once faced on the polo field. Their worlds had overlapped long before they met. Then came the donor names, familiar ones that connected straight back to her circles. The coincidences stacked up until they felt planned. Harry thought he'd welcomed her into his orbit, but maybe she'd been circling it for years. The realization wasn't just painful, it was humiliating. And at the center of every thread stood Marcus Anderson, the friend who, according to old reports, made the right people meet. The thought that haunted him was simple, but devastating. Had it all been engineered? Host declared she wasn't stumbling in, she was rehearsing. Another tweet paired an old polo after-party photo with the caption, Season 1. It wasn't coincidence anymore. It was calculated, cold, and intentional. Everything changed when Harry asked one quiet question. How had Meghan afforded it all? He knew her earnings during her Suits years, and the numbers didn't fit. The designer looks, first-class flights, luxury hotels, and multiple Soho House memberships were far beyond that salary. When he dug deeper, a contact from Soho House Toronto delivered a chilling truth. Meghan had never paid. Her memberships were comped through opaque corporate accounts. And once again, one name surfaced. Marcus Anderson. He wasn't just a friend, he was the gatekeeper, making sure flights were booked, doors opened, and access flowed. Commentators called it investment, not friendship. Online sleuths tore into the numbers, £1,500 a year for membership in 2015, plus hotels, yachts, wardrobes, over $80,000 annually, way beyond her income. One viral caption cut deep. You don't climb that high alone. Someone's holding the ladder. But for Harry, it stopped being about money. It became about trust. One sleepless night, he pulled out their wedding guest list, a list he'd seen countless times. This time, it hit like a punch. On her side, over 60 of the 200 guests had direct Soho House ties, executives, members, influencers she'd known long before him. The pattern wasn't just visible now, it was undeniable. The royal wedding, once celebrated as a sweeping love story, now seemed like something else entirely. A carefully orchestrated reunion of the same elite network that had lifted Meghan from actress to duchess. Photos from the reception suddenly carried a new weight. Marcus Anderson, glass raised, surrounded by faces that now looked less like friends and more like co-stars, closing the curtain on a long, silent production. A viral tweet summed it up in one brutal line. This wasn't a wedding, it was her graduation. But the real blow came when Harry replayed an old voicemail from William. Years earlier, palace security had warned him Marcus wasn't just a friend. He'd been flagged as a handler, a strategist, placing ambitious women inside powerful circles, with Meghan already appearing at events tied to Harry's world long before their supposed blind date. William had pleaded with him to listen, but Harry had been blinded by love. Now it all snapped into place. Meghan hadn't stepped into his world, she'd rehearsed for it. And the players behind it all were still there, waiting for the next act. The final crack came quietly in the kitchen. After days of silence, Harry finally asked the question haunting him. "Are you still in touch with Marcus Anderson?" Her response was instant, her tone icy, her face hardening. "He's my friend. Of course I talk to him sometimes." It wasn't the words, it was the calm, controlled delivery that gutted him. Something inside Harry broke in that moment. And when the story leaked, the internet erupted. Fans quickly named it the Montecito standoff. Memes flooded the internet. Harry painted as a late detective, piecing together a truth he could no longer undo. One viral tweet cut deep. "When she won't deny it, that's your answer." Insiders claimed his voice cracked as he laid out every thread. The Istanbul photos, Barcelona nights, the wedding guest list, William's warnings. "I know Marcus positioned you. This wasn't random," he told her. Meghan didn't cry or argue. She just stared back, silent, composed, unreachable. That quiet hit harder than any denial. Commentators later said this was the exact moment Harry realized the fairy tale had died. He wasn't her prince. He'd been part of the plan. Behind the scenes, the ripple grew. Publicists advised clients to steer clear of being photographed with her. Studios reportedly grew uneasy. Trade outlets noted quiet monitoring of the handler narrative. Royal watchers compared it to past scandals where silence spoke volumes. But this wasn't just palace intrigue. It was personal. The fracture ran deeper than marriage. It was between two worlds, and Harry's trust, once given so easily, now lay in pieces.